Okay, welcome to the New World Order, my friends. I'm struggling with this, trying to make a message and share my point of view because I know that it is inspired with such an actual honest truth that nobody would fucking believe me. Does that make sense? Like, I'm watching this cartoon and it's talking about Erebus, but I don't know why, but I'm getting from these videos I've watched all the Egyptian ones. I just watched the one about Nyx. And Nyx, I've seen Nyx, and in a human form, to recognize her, I seen her, and then I knew what the picture was because I saw another one and next to her, and then it showed another goddess, and it looked like the girl that I thought was in the picture next to her. So, like, I'm watching the leading edge of manifestation shooting out as I'm looking at stuff. Okay? Today's the last day of the wave. Tomorrow it'll turn into, let's see, I'm going to read this. Cooperation. Cooperation allows presence to reign. Presence. Oh. Presence is my grandpa. In a way that I never knew, and I found out because I felt it. My whole life for a long time was manipulated by presence. Okay. Presence is an invisible force that forms the basis of all beings. To be here and to be now and now in every moment of your life means to experience the fullness of being. Tone 13 teaches you the power of resilience to be no matter what, and gives you that transcendental strength that leads you to new heights. Seal of the Red Serpent. Resilience. Okay. So let's see what the next wave would be, because I'm a magnet and I'm usually pretty damn good at playing the game like this. Did it go? No. What's the fucking problem? Should know. That's my roommate. That's my homie. He's back. No, he's not back. That's what the birthday was. I said I'm gonna try to win my brother's soul and my roommates at the same time, because I don't. It's like it's a duty thing. It doesn't have anything to do with doing anything else. It's a duty thing. I think it's my duty to do for them because they don't have spiritual life. They don't. They don't. I'm sorry, they don't. It disturbed me, and my grandmother put it on me to do that for my brother, at least in some respect. So this is the new world order for me. I'll share as I learn. I'm going to tell you why, but I'm going to have you listen, because, like I said, it's important for me, and I am proud to be able to do this. It's got to be. It's at the very end. I don't know what all these other stories are about. I'm not believing that I heard anything until the end.
What really starts freaking people out is waking up to find their tents rearranged in their campsite. The stakes of the non-freestanding tents look like they're all undisturbed, but the tents are all in different places around camp. Nobody has any idea how their tents could have been all moved around, and in some cases apparently broken down and repitched, with none of them noticing or waking up. Next night, they decide to keep watch in 3-hour shifts. Everyone is on edge. Watchmen get thick branches, tie knives to the ends, and arm themselves with bear mace. The first half of the night, nothing happens. Then it's my friend's turn to stand watch. He's got his camera because he figures the flash can illuminate wide areas if something comes close. It doesn't matter though, because he falls asleep just before dawn and nothing happens that night. The next morning, somebody asks him why he was taking pictures last night. My friend freezes, slowly takes out his camera, checks the memory. There's pictures of everybody in the group sleeping, including himself. My friend is losing his shit right now. They're about 40 miles from their car, though technically only about 18 miles from the nearest trailhead if they were to hitchhike out. All pretty much guaranteed to spend at least one more night camping out. He decides to keep quiet about the pictures and they continue on their trip. Over the last few days of the trip, things get stranger and stranger. It doesn't matter who they post to nighttime lookout duty, the watchman always falls asleep. The next morning, everybody wakes up somehow on the...
I'll tell you why I think that. Because when I watched I had recently the very secure feeling I was causing myself by what I was doing, this drowsiness. And when I went into my room, something happened to me. Where the whole background reality was just somebody made this entity to test to see if they could do that, to stick it in an environment, and they were explaining the whole Matrix from that point of view. And I was like, God damn, it freaked me out because I only told one person. One person. Handling your be-knowing sometimes is your greatest asset. Because my be-showing too is perked up. And I can't just give away. I mean, it's not possible. But if I told you, through the course of being around with my dad, shit, I hate you. Sorry, bro. I gotta eat. This is all there is. This is all there is. Burritos and pieces of bread, and I gotta eat these burritos. See, well... Fuck. Hold on. Hope my tea's good. It is. I kind of associate Kronos and Thanos, or Thantos, however you want to say that, with my dad. Like, he said we were brothers, and if we're brothers, I'm Hypnos. Okay? It's giving it away. I'm just giving it away. Because when I watched Erebus, I knew that he was also giving me clues from the other side. And how I know it's just me and one other person in this backwater called Earth, I'll never tell.
On the ground outside of their tents. The following morning they all wake up in a strange meadow, out of sight of their campsite entirely. It's at this point that my friend decides to share what he saw on his camera 2 days earlier. They all huddle around his camera, and to their horror they discover new pictures, some of them taken very close to people's faces. The last picture is a picture of my friend's sleeping face, but there's a bone-white hand cupping his chin. By following a creek a little ways upstream, they are able to find the trail, which someone recognizes as being not too far from their campsite. They only have 12 miles to go before they get to the trailhead, but it's early afternoon, and they're doubtful they can finish their trip that same day. Reaching their campsite, they find all of their gear shredded in pieces. Apparently, only one backpack was unharmed. They find where their food had been hung, scooped up as much as they could save from where it was scattered on the ground. Somebody luckily finds the car keys and they run the rest of the way back, getting lost several times but reaching the trailhead before dark. When they finally get to the trailhead, everyone is too exhausted to make camp or do any driving, so all 6 of them just pile into the car, lock the doors, and fall asleep. A knock on their window wakes them up early the next morning. It's the police, and the cop wants to know what these people are doing in a closed area. As they tried to explain the situation, the cop tells his own story. The entire entrance to the forest had been closed for days due to abnormal animal activity. My friend is getting suspicious why the police are handling the closure and not the forest rangers. He asks as much. Cop goes quiet and looks away. Very awkward moment, which is interrupted by one of my friend's hiking companions in the car. He notices that there are about a dozen other cars in the parking lot, but they all have flat tires. Everybody gets out of the car, and they realize that their own tires are flat. At this point, the cop comes clean and explains that there's actually a manhunt in the area, but they're not sure what exactly they're dealing with. Lots of dead hikers turned up earlier in the week. My friend remembers the strange photos and gets out his camera to show the cop. The cop's face suddenly goes blank, and he hands back the camera. It's a photo that was taken inside the car the night before. Partially visible in the last photo, which is of my friend's sleeping face, like some kind of party photo where the taker holds the camera at arm's length to get himself in, is the right half of a pure white face with black holes for eyes and a mouth full of sharpened animal-like teeth.
Dog teeth.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's.
That's fucking crazy, because I went to sleep last night, and in my dream, so it may have been from 11 to 12 that I was asleep, and then I woke back up from this amazing dream, verifying the conditions of reality, you know, as they would need to be to make advanced progress suitable. Now, mind you, I don't feel like somebody that would be normally capable of saying something like that. You have to know, if you believe strongly that what you're doing in your internal world is building an actual physical structure reality has to hold itself on, it's quite a different thing, though. It really is. That's why I said you can believe it or not. Now, the first thing I did, and I did this to feel secure at home, because this person that kept coming and doing this sort of demanded it too, the white dog. That's why it's pure white. I made my own body out of a pure white energy, and then the next thing I put on there was the teeth and stretched out of the dog from the just white image. Like I built and built that ghost and stretched it out meditatively as I went. So when I heard the details, and see, nobody's hurt by this thing. There may be dead hikers. That doesn't mean that that thing is killing them. That thing hasn't killed anybody at all. That's the reality within it. I don't know what the danger was. I know what the need to protect my danger was. And why would it be at the end of a clue for so long to be like, did I haunt myself? Did I travel in time? Did I send a single message to get that? But I never would have thought that would be the background reality, because they explained the show that, I don't know the name of the show. I can't go back and find it. I like to use it to corroborate my own, but it warped to another place so fast the night. And that was when I had to make sure to tell little sister, because she had made me think Bear had died, and nobody, like, she raised the alarm to do the fucking imagine the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Those seven people are your children. I don't think she would ever think of it like that. But to cut the link from me to her, I would have to say that. I've talked to her after that. And then I had to say a similar thing to properly put the girl that I'm flirting with, courting, in the most the most primordial way of courting someone. I had to say that too. Overwhelm them. But it was because of the necessary desire for Halloween. I mean, I want to call Halloween. It feels like Halloween and fucking St. Valentine's Day have become one holiday. But yeah, that monster verifies that my ghost has got the most.